Hey buddy, welcome back to the channel and to World of Warships. Today I have a double feature for you guys. So put your feet up and crack a cold one open, because this is gonna be a doozy. So today I'm featuring the Tier 8 Japanese alternate line gunboat destroyer, the Akizuki. And it's a 4-cap domination game on North, I think this map is called. And Akizuki was a very long time one of my absolute favorite destroyers, because it was a pretty good all-round destroyer. I mean, before its two bigger sister ships arrived, the Kitakase and the Harugumo, which have soon become my absolute favorite ships in the game. This was an exceptional good destroyer at tier 8, because it has pretty much everything that you can wish for. You have very good competitive detection range. You have very strong guns. And you also have those nice, I think 12 km, maybe 10 km, I'm not really sure, torps. And you have one set, and then you have a torp reload as well. So you can get off 2 sets with the torp reload. You also have a speed boost and a smoke screen. So you have really all the consumables that you could ever wish for. So I'm pushing close to the V-cap, facing the enemy Fletcher. And I'm not really afraid of taking the fight to him, even though Fletcher is also a very strong Tier 9 US gunboat destroyer. My Shimakase buddy pushes into the cap, and I'm just staying in the background, trying to support him as much as possible. And it seems like there is 2 destroyers who actually pushed for the B cap as well as us. Both the enemy Fletcher and the enemy Shimakase. And we got, I'm not really sure. Yeah, that was probably the Minotaur torps that came first. And then the Shima dropped its torps as well. The Fletcher pushed through the gap in the islands and actually popped his smoke, and are now sitting spamming fires on my battleships. So of course I'm gonna send 2 sets of 4 torps each towards his smoke, because you know, guys, what smokes are? Yeah, they are torp magnets, and that is one less tier 9 destroyer on the enemy team. And the Z on the enemy team was always also taken out, so the enemy team is down 2 destroyers, and we unfortunately lost our Shimakase that pushed into B. He got nuked by the enemy Minotaur. Now I'm guessing that is... no, it couldn't be the Moskva. I'm not really sure whose Hydra this is. Yeah, it's the Z-52, of course, hiding in the smoke. And Zed, of course, having a really strong armor piercing. So you shouldn't really show too much of a broadside to that destroyer. I'm trying to spam some HE into the smoke, trying to force him out. Then he gets detected. I'm not really sure if it's a hydro from our team or if it's smoke actually dissipated. And as you can see, the same rule applies for the Akizuki as for the Kitekase and also the Harugumo, that you have to really take a huge lead to be able to hit a kiting destroyer, because these shell arcs are really slow and lofty, so they do take a time to connect with the targets. Now I'm assuming that the Zed has pushed out of the cap, so I'm slowly pushing closer to see if I'm able to spot him. I do have a couple of 100 meters detection range on the Z52, he being at 6.1, and if I'm not mistaken I am at 5.9. I have quite a bit of support here, 2 battleships and 2 cruisers, 1 on each side. So I feel pretty safe in trying to go for this cap. And of course, I get detected. I'm not really sure if this is Z52 that has already his hydro up, or if it's maybe the Moskva on the other side of the island. But I'm just waiting to see if anyone will start to engage me, or if I'm able to cap. I'm moving forward just a bit cautiously, see if I'm able to spot something for my teammates pushing from the A cap. Since I do have support with me, I feel it's pretty safe to push forward. I'm also able to secure this cap. The Z52 gets spotted once again, so I am starting to engage him with my guns, hoping for some other guys on my team to take a shot as well, but it looks like they somehow missed that he was spotted straight ahead of them. So I'm trying to take some blind fires into the smoke. I can't really launch my torps into the smoke and blap him like I blapped the Fletcher, because my friendly Bismarck pushes forward and I don't want to chance of hitting him with one of my torps. I'm not really sure why the Bismarck and Carolina are so eager to push forward when they know it's a huge destroyer smoke screen right in front of them. But I feel like I need to make a move here. I see enemy torps coming from the smoke. I need to make a move trying to maybe help my teammates out here. Unfortunately, the North Carolina is taken out by the destroyer. This Bismarck is extremely low, so I guess that he will follow quite soon. The Mogami start to engage, but is taken out. So far we are pretty even. We are down 4 ships to their 6, and we both have 2 caps each. So this is no sure win by any range of the imagination. So it would feel better if we are able to either secure another cap, or maybe kill one more ship. The Des Moines is getting detonated by the enemy Amagi, so the enemy is closing in quite fast, and of course I run into the number one ship that I absolutely don't want to run into, the enemy Minotaur. And as usual, it's not that many of my teammates that are actually shooting at the Minotaur before he smokes up. So once again, I'm launching my torps, see if I can be as lucky with the Minotaur as I was with the Fletcher. I also have a Shimakaze popping smoke in front of me, so I have to be a bit careful not eating any accidental torps. I actually score a torp hit on the Minotaur. He is flooding, and now he's pushing out. Oh boy. Yeah. This is one guy I don't want to have a duel with. I managed to pop my smoke really fast, so I took very little damage. Now he's blind firing me in my smoke, but I managed to take him out. He actually flooded to death from my torp hit earlier. The Shimakaze gets spotted, so I open up on him as well. He managed to ground himself against the island, which made him pretty much a sitting duck, and giving me the ability to secure my third kill. And now we have a full health North Carolina, and I'm down to 2000 HP. I mean, this guy can hit me with one shell and I'm dead. But what the hell can you do? When you have committed to a firefight, it's do or die, baby. So for some reason, this guy is not actually focusing me, even though I'm the guy putting him on fire. So I'm just continuing trying to help out my teammates for as long as my health will carry me. And even though I'm spamming with torps and fires, he actually doesn't take a shot at me. Until now, I think. But I managed to dodge his shots. I shoot off my next salvo of torps, but I didn't need them because I secured my fourth kill. So that was a pretty quick game actually in the Akizuki, earning me 83,000 damage and 4 kills. 2,500 base experience and number one in the team, which is always nice. And Shimakaze, of course, unfortunately dying in the start of the game. So almost 500,000 potential damage, which is pretty great in a sub 2000 HP pool destroyer, and a pretty good profit as well. So jumping quickly into the next match, which is a 3-cap domination game on the map Trap. Same ship, the tier 8 Akizuki. And we are 4 destroyers on the enemy team, 5 destroyers on my team. And both teams has 5 battleships and no carriers in play. Thank God. So I'm spawning quite close to the sea cap. I don't really like pushing into the B cap in the beginning of this map, because I consider the B cap being pretty much a kill box the first 5 or 7 minutes of the game. It's pretty much where destroyers go to die. That said, we have 2 destroyers on my team pushing the B cap. But I don't know. I mean, it's a kid and it's a Z-52. So unless the enemy team has a suicidal cruiser pushing in to the B cap, I think those 2 destroyers actually could fare pretty well in the B cap. Especially the Z-52 with its German Hydra and its very potent armor-piercing shots. And I think Kid is no joke as well. I actually never had the chance to own or play the Kid. I just know it's a US destroyer, which means it's a pretty good gunboat. And it's one of those destroyers with really potent anti-air, which should actually be a good thing to own regarding this new CV meta we are living in. I do own the tier 10 Russian destroyer, the Grossovoy, which is one of the best AA destroyers in the game, I think. So that is always nice, but it would be nice to have a lower tier AA destroyer as well. Now we have an enemy Kiev and enemy Zhao and also an enemy Shenyang pushing into the sea cap, so well, we have a fight on our hands. The enemy Xinjiang is pushing really hard into the sea cap, which is kind of strange, especially since his torps are quite ineffective against us destroyers. So the Kiev gets spotted, and of course he can't really survive long under my fire, because this ship of course has extreme fire rate. And that was the Yamamoto First Blood perk you saw activating with the fireworks. I have alternated my Yamamoto captain between the Akizuki, the Kitakaze, and also now in the last couple of weeks the Harugumo, because I feel like with those special Yamamoto perks, with the First Blood and also the Kraken Unleashed, is something that you can really monetize on quite often in these destroyers. As you can see in my playlist, which I will link to in the top right corner, where I have gotten First Blood and also Kraken Unleashed perk from Yamamoto Captain quite often in this ship, Akizuki. So I take out the second destroyer as well, so I have pretty effectively cleared this cap from all its destroyers. I have all the kills that my team has right now. And now we have an enemy Hipper pushing in. Unfortunately, the battleships on my team has positioned themselves in that classic battleship place behind an island, where they can be totally ineffective against enemy team. But somehow the Turpits, who is pushing through the B cap, actually managed to detonate the Hipper. The Hipper also had 3 DDs on his right side to face with me as well. So 4 DDs. So that guy was pretty toast from the start. So we have pretty much managed to delete all the pushing ships in the sea cap, which you can see has pretty much convinced the 2 battleships sitting behind the northern island at the sea cap to turn around and pretty much make Billy big steps in the other direction. They're like, screw you guys, we're out of here. So we managed to secure both B and C cap, so we're looking pretty good. The enemy team has 2 destroyers left alive. Meanwhile, all our 5 destroyers are alive. So this should be a very sure win. But I never say that any longer, because every time I say this is gonna be a sure win, then you lose. Yeah. So we have an enemy Shapayev, which is of course one of the biggest threats to our DDs, since it's one of the few radar ships. So we really need our team to try and focus him first. And then we just need to make sure that the B cap stays in our possession. And see if we can farm some more damage on the enemy team. So the Shapayev is spotted coming around the corner, and we are all in radar range. He spots us with his radar, so of course we're gonna open up. And as you can see, you have to take a giant lead with these guns to be able to hit the target. I do knock out a module, and one of the other destroyers actually managed to get a torp hit on him, which probably means he has used damage comp. So any fires we can set on this guy now should be a permanent one. But the problem is to be able to hit the son of a bitch. Yeah. I see a B cap being contested by the enemy Shimakaze, and we all only have the kid inside the B cap, which is pretty much full health, so I think he can deal with the threat, but you should always try and support your teammates. You never know if there is another ship lurking in the background. The enemy also have a Fletcher still in play, so you never know. Maybe it's a Fletcher in that smoke as well. We do have a friendly Des Moines pushing in the B cap from the side, which should be pretty safe for us to handle. I think he just popped his radar, so he spotted the enemy Shimakaze. So it should be pretty easy for me to take this guy out. I'm not sure if it's the Des Moines that put him on fire, but he's burning quite nicely. I do manage to make contact on the target and securing me my 3rd destroyer kill. So I killed all of their destroyers, which is actually something you should do in this destroyer. This is a typical destroyer hunter killer, so it's pretty much your job. Now I see enemy Bismarck pushing through outside the B caps, so I'm trying to predict his movements and sending 2 of my torps. Bismarck, of course, having the German Hydra, so he should be able to dodge my torps without any problem. One of my torps actually hit the side of the island, which was quite unfortunate. So I need to try and rely on my guns instead to take this guy out. Of course, this is the same time that the enemy Fletcher decides to push into the B cap. And of course I always need to prioritize destroyers over battleships. They are always the biggest threat. I don't know if that's the friendly radar from the Des Moines once again doing its job. But we actually managed to take him out. Too bad it wasn't me, because then I could brag with taking out all the destroyers on the enemy team. But you have to let someone else kill as well. So now this enemy Bismarck. He is pushing really close. He proximity spotted me at 3 km, which means he has that module instead of the stealth module. And now his guns are turning, and I'm hoping they are not turning quickly enough. He do chunk me for quite a bit, but at this close range he has no chance of dodging my torps. So I take him out, securing me my 4th kill, and I'm up to about 70,000 damage done. So this match is won. No potato team in the world could pretty much lose this game at this moment. The remaining ships, we still have actually the Chapaev, but he's fighting a Monarch and a Z-46 up north. And we have this half-dead Missouri and also our enemy Bismarck left. So it's pretty much just damage farming at this point. Trying to boost your damage numbers as much as possible. Of course I do want to have this being my 5th kill, because then I would get the Kraken Unleashed perk from my Yamamoto captain, which would pretty much heal up half my ship. And also giving me like, I think 1.7 second reload on my guns. Which pretty much meant that I could probably take out half the HP on this Bismarck. But unfortunately I'm still at 4 kills. But as you can see on my other videos on my channel, where I get the Kraken Unleashed and also the First Blood perk with the Yamamoto captain, that just turns this ship into an insane beast. So do check those out as well. I will link them in the top right corner. So 72,000 damage done, 4 kills, from whom 3 were 3 of their 4 destroyers, which was of course pretty good for the team. Earning me 1.9 thousand base XP. Number 1 in the game, which is always nice. Really a monster game by any standards, but still pretty good game. Killing off 3 of their destroyers, showing that this DD still got it. You're still a very potent destroyer hunter killer. And a decent amount of experience and credits as well. So I wanna thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I'm sorry for the double feature. I hope it was worth it. I hope you thought that it was entertaining at least. Please leave a like and a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing World of Warships gameplays. Until next time guys, have a good one. Bye bye.